What's up? This is your host, Non-Fungible TC, Non-Fungible today and Non-Fungible tomorrow. And I've decided to do a daily stream today because I've noticed that the crypto market is not doing so well. We do see a sea of red and everything is dumping. And I wanted to do a show to, investigate the reason behind why things are dumping. And as we can see, now we are very close to going back to $2 trillion for the total global crypto market cap. So it does show that money is, leaving the market and, everything is going down. So I really want to talk about this. Okay, so I did some research and I found out that there's actually a few main reasons why the market is going down. Well, for those of you who are new to crypto, right, whenever Bitcoin goes down, right, when Bitcoin price goes down, all the other tokens tends to go down with Bitcoin, right? Because the reason for this is because there's a lot of trading pairs, and when Bitcoin goes down, it actually tends to drag the whole market with it to go down. So that's why when Bitcoin goes down 1%, other tokens and altcoins, go down way more than 1%, right? But it is also because of this volatility and fluctuation, some other people might prefer to buy tokens over there in order to have a higher chance of gains, right? So that's how the crypto market works. But the reason, though, I was doing some research today, listening to other channels, and I found out that people were saying that, hey, actually, the crypto market didn't drop on its own, right? So it has nothing to do with just the crypto market, but it has something to do with the Fed's report that was done 1 month ago, right? So basically what happened is that the US Feds decided to have like a meeting minutes, but it was actually a meeting that was happened like a month before, but then it was just released yesterday and a few days ago, right? And then that's why the market is very volatile right now, because what happened is that Bitcoin, Ethereum drops on interest rate, fears a crypto market loses 130 billion, right? So basically what happened is that the Federal Reserve governor decided that, hey, it is time to tighten the monetary policy because inflation, it is a huge issue, right? So basically what happened is that the Federation, the Feds, decided to increase the interest rate. So when the interest rate is being increased, people are less likely to borrow money because it's more expensive to borrow money, right? So that's why it is a result of a lot of people trying to sell when this happened, right? So basically all of this came before Fed released minutes from the Federal Open Market Committee March meeting. So this was actually a meeting in March, but then only recently this meeting came to life and people found out that, hey, they're now trying to keep inflation down. They're trying to increase the interest rate so that people would no longer borrow money, and that could be a reason why the whole market is down. Not just cryptocurrency, but the whole market is down, right? So interest rate increase are designed to make the cost of borrowing go up and dampening the spending to keep inflation in check, right? So that's why it would affect the overall market, because maybe some people are trading based on borrowed money. So that's why they have to start selling in order to exit the market and to borrow less, right? So this is one of the reasons why crypto is down. But I've been listening to other podcasts. They are saying that, hey, actually there's a new variant of coronavirus in Britain, right? So there is a new variant, and that could also be a reason why cryptocurrency is going down. And also, there is an event that is happening, which is called Bitcoin 2022. It is one of the biggest Bitcoin events every year. So basically what happened last year was that when this event happened, it seems like some YouTube commentator thinks that the whales love to play games, right? It is all coinciding because of this event. The whales tries to dump the market, and then they can start buying in a lower price. So if you own these crypto, should you sell or should you buy more, right? Well, I think for those of you who want to be safe, it would be better if you could just observe more in the market and also decide on this dump kind of shaking your conviction in cryptocurrency, right? If it has, or if you are very worried about this, it means that maybe you're investing more than you could afford to lose, right? So always invest in the money that you could afford to lose, so that when things like this happen, you don't really get shaken out, right? Because if you sell, basically the whales are buying, right? Because when you see this dump happening, it quickly bounces off from 42,000, right, and it goes back up, right? So I think this is definitely a kind of like a consolidation. It's kind of a slight retracement. Is there a chance that it could go down? Maybe if there's certain support levels are dropping, then it could. Or if globally there's even more negative news, then it would definitely affect the cryptocurrency or even the equities market, right? And also another reason why people are worried is that the war in between Russia and Ukraine, right, is actually affecting a lot of different type of supply, right? A lot of logistic issues and stuff like that is affecting the supply chain. So people are saying that things are going to be more and more expensive. And when that happens, and there's a lot of uncertainty in the market, then things like this do happen. But compared to previous dumps in the past, these are small numbers, but it doesn't mean that it would immediately go up, right, after small numbers, right? So always take profit when you can. When you take profit, use cash to buy in during these days, right? Usually when you have a green day, sell them and then buy in at another day, because in crypto, what I really believe for my observation is that you always have a second chance. There's always every day the price will either go up or go down, right? So you always have a second chance every new day. So that's it for the crypto market. That I think one of the biggest reasons is because of the Fed's minute that came out, which are shaking a lot of people. And also I was doing some research today and I found out that one of Australia's bigger banks, is wading through a sea of red tape spun by local financial regulators before launching its crypto product to all of its retail users, right? So basically, a bank in Australia is called Commonwealth Bank of Australia, has thought of expanding crypto services on the mobile application, but right now they are facing a delay because there's a lot of red tapes, there's a lot of regulations and new guidelines, things like that they have to comply with, right? But basically they are still proceeding with this. It's just that they're seeing some delay, right? But basically what I think is that the fundamentals has not changed. We see big banks trying to incorporate crypto in the product offering, right? So definitely I think this is, if you zoom out, this is like things haven't really changed, right? People are still very bullish. There's still a lot of development. It's just a one day of red, right? And or even if it's a few months of red, right? But once these plans are executed, once these banks could really provide more crypto to retail, I'm sure that new money would come in, right? Because people are interested in this new investment instrument, right? So I think there is nothing big to worry about if there's nothing really fundamentally that has changed in the market. And also I want to talk about how this really shows us that a lot of banks or financial institutions, for example, in the past, you have Goldman Sachs who tried to, provide crypto offering as well, right? Even though if it's only contracts trading, right? So I think definitely if you are worried, go out, take a break, embrace nature and, come back later and always set your stop loss so that you don't lose more. But let me continue. So yeah, coming back, I think in terms of the NFT market, rather than using Flip Finance, I actually want to look at OpenSea today, right? And actually in OpenSea, you could actually look at NFTs in the last 24 hours. And the reason why I wanted to use OpenSea today is because I noticed that Flip Finance do have, for the NFT projects that are on Flip Finance, right? They have to kind of pull the data themselves, right? So some of the new projects are not available on Flip Finance. So the most accurate information that you could find could be on OpenSea, even though sometimes it gets bugs or, it goes down, right? But if you actually go to OpenSea, you can actually sort NFT projects by doing this, right? Go to OpenSea, scroll down, and then search for top collections over the past 24 hours. Go to ranking. And then by this, you can actually sort this by 24 hours and then it will sort the trading volume, right? And then you can see which are the trending NFT projects with the most trading volume. And you can see the price movement. And actually, the reason why I want to show this to you is that there is an exciting function, and that is Solana. So today, basically what happened is that Solana NFTs can now be traded on OpenSea. So this is really exciting. OpenSea has finally allowed, Solana NFTs to be on OpenSea in a beta mode. So basically, the launch has, Solana NFTs has been added to OpenSea. And now the launch come amid recent Solana network issues, particularly today, right? So yeah, so this is exciting for people who are buying NFTs on the Solana blockchain. So what happened is that when you go here you could I think it takes some time for them to consolidate the data, because right now the data aren't really that sufficient yet. But with OpenSea selling Solana NFTs, basically it creates more attention towards this new chain, this blockchain, which has lower gas fees, and I think it will introduce more people into the Solana NFT ecosystem, right? So you click on it, it's actually very similar to Ethereum NFTs, but then the price would be in Solana. It will show you the volume traded, and then if you click on this, you can actually see that hey, it's the same interface, but then the details is actually on Solana, and also the token standard and the metadata, right? So I think this is really cool, but Solana experienced a demand influx causing intermittent downtime, right? So yeah, to each their own. I think there's opportunities in both Ethereum and Solana NFTs, and with OpenSea implementing Solana NFTs, definitely there'll be more traffic into people checking out Solana NFTs. So talking about today's project, I want to talk about the top moving projects. Some of them I covered before. You have Akuma Origins, which I had not covered before, but basically I think this is something related to anime and stuff like that, because if you look at the art, it reminds you of anime, and then you could actually have access to the projects, right? So they're trying to bridge the digital and physical world together. So this is actually the highest training project, which is quite interesting because I think they just revealed recently, right? So doing pretty well. Frankfrank, it is a project I really want to kind of quickly mention, and that is basically there is a project with no utility, nothing. And it reminds, and it's just like this, right? These animations of this polar bear or something like that. People are just buying this thing, no utility, go to the Twitter, no website, just the OpenSea, just the Discord, but for some reason it's just pumping. So it's quite interesting the things that you see. So but this is definitely a very risky play, and it has gone up so quickly. Everai, which is a like a Mac 3D type of project, or 3D or 2D. I think it's kind of 2D. But yeah, so basically, they have a unique skin for, and then you have missions in the future and stuff like that. So this project is actually doing quite well. After the mint, even after review, they're selling at 1.21 ETH. But then if you look at the owner count and items, the ratio is 1 to 2. So kind of you gotta be careful sometimes. But I think yeah, so these are actually the top moving projects. In the future, I think I will do more talk through over top trading projects in volume by the last 24 hours. I'll be using this rather than Flip Finance, unless we could look at some special insight from Flip Finance, right? So moving on, actually I want to talk about another NFT information, and that is actually I'm not sure if you noticed, but there is a chart that I was looking at where the NFT market trading volume, the sellers have finally exceeded buyers, right? So I don't have the data right now, but I was looking at some information on-chain data saying that actually the sellers of NFTs right now on Ethereum outweighs buyers. So it means that there might be some selling pressure, okay? So just want to share this. So moving on to daily news, I kind of talk about why the crypto market is down. Some things that there might be some hindrance to adoption and stuff like that. I talked about NFTs as well, how Solana NFTs can now be traded on OpenSea. And actually another interesting news related to the Metaverse is that people have found some discussion where Facebook is actually exploring to create a centralized in-app token similar to Robux for the game Roblox, right? So this likely wouldn't be a cryptocurrency. According to Financial Times, Meta started calling it Starbucks, right? So basically what this is that Financial Times actually reported that Facebook is thinking of building a closed so this is not from Facebook, right? This is from Yasu, the chairman of Animal Brand, right? They are saying that Facebook is looking to build a closed metaverse, but right now we still have to wait Facebook to share more information. We still do not know whether it's going to be closed or not. We'll have to see, but from what it says is that rather than coming up with the cryptocurrency, because they have tried issuing their own stable coin in the past, didn't work out. due to regulation reasons, right? So now they're trying to create in-game tokens that could also be a type of medium of exchange in the future for their own metaverse, right? So definitely the metaverse play has not changed, even though we have a down today, but Web3, metaverse and stuff like that has not changed at all. So I don't think we have to be too worried. And then we look at HSBC. Interestingly, HSBC fund now targets the metaverse. So basically, HSBC is a huge bank. So right now, they are providing a fund for metaverse opportunities for its private banking clients in Hong Kong and Singapore, right? So what I'm trying to share with you is that a lot of big banks or financial institutions are actually eyeing on the metaverse, and I think the reason why they have this fund is because there is demand for a fund related to the metaverse, right? So I think if you are looking at the metaverse play, definitely it is important to not get destroyed by just a one day of downtime, but actually do more research to see actually in the market everything is slowly coming together, right? So this is actually a news today. And I think what would be interesting, and I don't have the info right now, is that if we could look at this fund and see the investment they have. I'll see if I could find it in the future. But basically, if you could see what they're investing in, then you'll kind of know basically what they think is, because they have a lot of researchers and stuff like fund managers, right? Then you kind of see what HSBC's approach towards the metaverse is, right? So I'm not sure if you know, but HSBC has brought a parcel in Sandbox and is planning to build something there. So would this fund have some allocation related to Sandbox, Sand token or Sand parcel or something like that? I'm not sure. But it'll be interesting to see if this information is publicly available, and then we could see what their approach to the metaverse is, right? So our next news is actually from The Verge, which is Paramount won't stop making Star Trek NFTs, right? So basically, Paramount is actually a film studio, which a lot of big films like Star Trek is actually under Paramount Pictures, right? They decide to come up with an upcoming marketplace, right? So they're launching this NFT marketplace, Metaverse, annoying, so basically this article is, has a very negative approach to Paramount doing this, right? So they're saying that, it's annoying marketing stunt that fans are already angry about, saying that, hey, basically the company has partnered with Recur, which is a NFT platform, like a marketplace where you can buy a pass and then you have early access to mint stuff like the upcoming Paramount collection, which is Star Trek, right? So basically, they're planning to bring the entities, the IP, the brands and characters to the metaverse, and they are going to mint, Star Trek NFTs, right? So the project is called Star Trek Continuum, and is what the company just describes as an experiential hub that will house the first and all future seasons of Star Trek NFTs, right? So basically, they have a press release, a lot of words that add up to a hand wave. Recur and Paramount are building a roadmap and real-life utility over the course of this multi-year partnership, and you have blah blah perks and stuff like that, right? So according to this article, it is from their perspective, it is kind of negative, because they think that this NFT frenzy is paging his seeing his childhood page, right? So I think companies should really do some research before launching the NFTs. Of course, this is just an article. There are different people. Some people might like it, some people might not. But I think companies should really do some research whenever they come up with their own NFTs, see how the fans react, and do not because you don't want to mint NFT to tarnish your own brand or your own IP, right? So so that's why I think definitely this is interesting to see, because according to the article, fans are angry. But today, I actually want to talk about the Star Trek NFTs by Paramount, since I'm talking about this article, and I like to do this, right? So basically, this is the website. The NFT would be minting in 2 days, and as you can see, 2 days. Basically, they would sell two type of packs, right? And they have different seasons, right? So this is season 0, where you basically buy a starship, right? And for the Admiral pack, it's gonna be, there's only 5,000. And then there will be it will cost $250 so they accept fiat, and then basically when you buy it, you have a chance to get a constitution or a 50 chance to get a constitution with it. So basically you have a different type of rarity NFT, like a starship. So different packs have different rarity. And you also have a captain pack, which also has different type of NFT rarities according to the law, but then this pack will be more. So in total, they're actually selling around 20,000 NFTs, right? So basically the Admiral pack is kind of like a whitelist sale. It's only for pass holder, right? So you need to own a recur pass in order to do this minting, right? But if you're looking for the public sale, then you could buy the captain pack, okay? But then I think the captain pack has the chances of getting like a rare or something like that is slightly lower, or because this one is a 50-50 chance, this one is a 22.23 chance with different type of classes, right? So right now what you can do is if you're interested in Star Trek and you like what they're doing, you could pre-register and then live stream NFT revealing, and then they will have a 24 hours drop, okay? So their roadmap is that, so you need money to do this, right? Because basically, and it's a long-term, it's kind of like a game or whatever, right? So first of all, this is season 0 where you collect your ship, right? So basically each ship belongs to one of 6 classes that give you advantages in certain missions, right? You need a ship to go on missions in future seasons. So I think they gamified this. And then in season 1, I think you have to maybe buy more packs to get characters. And then these characters could be a crew for you to put in these ships, and then you could do other missions, right? And then you have season 2, complete missions and earn rare NFTs. And then they will say you have new packs, new species, new characters and stuff like that for season 3. So this is actually the website. It's kind of brief. So not a lot of info, to be honest. And then you have the Discord. So that's why I do see why this article is kind of negative about this. And I like, there is, if you go on the website, right, you could look at the drop odds. So it shows you, okay, the packs would get 50-50 drop chance, and then the captain pack will have these chances, right? So FAQ, so basically this is an NFT collect experience powered by Recur, and then you have different seasons, and then you buy NFT. The roadmap, basically you could buy the starship for season 0, which is right now. Then in season 1 you collect characters, maybe you have to pay to buy them, and then season 2 is you play missions with these NFT and you get more NFTs. And yeah, that's a recur. And then they talk about the NFT marketplace platform, and then how you sign up. You have to create a recur account. So I think this NFT would be dropped on a Polygon blockchain. I couldn't really find it, but I think from what I read is I think it's gonna be on the Polygon blockchain under eco-sustainability, which I will talk about. So what are the drop details? So yep, 250 pre-sale for the pass holder, and then the rest would be for the public, right? And then they will have a marketplace, and then people can trade them. Because they have to invest in carbon offset credits to mitigate the impact of the blockchain and electricity usage. This is the mints are gonna be using the Polygon blockchain, right? So is it going to be sold, like, can you sell them at OpenSea? Maybe, because OpenSea supports the Polygon blockchain, right? So they'll be using Polygon blockchain instead of Ethereum or a personal closed blockchain. So payment, you could pay using crypto, and I think you could pay with fiat, if I believe correctly. And then you have to do KYC as well. So that's it. So yeah, that's the website. No graphics of the Metaverse play, like whether they're gonna build a virtual game or whatever, nothing. So yeah, if you like Star Trek, you want to collect some NFTs, you could check this out. For me, I just think that it would be better if they have more information. Like there's not a lot of information, and I think it's important that when you look at these NFTs and when these are big brands, check out the terms of services, right? Really check out the commercial right of these NFTs, right? Because my understanding is that once you buy these NFTs, these are more like collectibles where you use it as game. But you cannot use these NFTs for derivative projects and stuff like that, because they have to protect the IP. So if you're looking for like a profile pic project where you can use it, and then make other spin-off projects with that, sell merchandise, this is definitely not that type of project, right? But I think what is interesting is that Paramount now has a website called Paramount XYZ, and you can see that Star Trek is only step 1. They do want to introduce Nickelodeon. And also Paramount Pictures, maybe other movie NFTs, right? And it's interesting why they how they chose Recur out of all the other platforms. And you know, from what you see is that they do have some plans to go all in into NFTs. So Nicodem, you know, this season, so they have different seasons, I think different type of drop, but still like not a lot of information because everything goes to the Recur website, right? So I'm curious like how much is, you know, the Paramount involvement in drafting all of this and something like that. So yeah, that's it for today's episode. I just wanted to do this episode slightly earlier because I want to check out a public mint, a Dutch auction, which is Fan Club. I want to see how it goes. So yeah, that's it for today's episode. This is your host Non-Fungible TC, signing out.